and cycling too, which takes us to this. It's the 7th of July 2014. Wiggo and Chris Froome are flashing through the streets of Cambridge. The crowds are lining the route of the Tour de France to see their heroes race by. Sky is blue, sun is shining, people cheer and shout. Overhead hang thousands and thousands of tiny yellow woolly jumpers. That's the dream for one cycling instructor in Cambridge who wants the city to celebrate the 2004 Tour de France visit in style. So we're to get knitting, are we, Radwagon? Hello.
Hi there.
We're to get knitting.
We are to get knitting. It's an interesting thing. The Tour de France is something that we don't actually always think it is. Sometimes it's not about a bike race. And the history of the Tour is actually all about the fact that it's about locality and promoting your town and the country. And that's something we can do on July the 7th.
Yeah, because the Tour was founded, wasn't it, all those years ago, it essentially as a way to market France, wasn't it?
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, by a motoring magazine.
Yeah, ironically. Which is perhaps the more all ironic that the Tour de France increasingly is taking the Tour de France overseas to other countries, namely to the UK, of course, Yorkshire, then Cambridgeshire later on this year. As a man who's very familiar with two wheels, Rad, how excited are you and your mates about this?
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. I've obviously had a lot of experience of it and really love it. In France, it's fantastic. I've heard people go there when they do, but we've got it coming here, so you don't have to go anywhere. So that's a great thing. And this is something, the idea I've had about this, and in fact now we've got a hub of people and businesses together who are quite excited about this, is just to get more people who perhaps don't really know cycling or want to know about the sport of cycling to do something different and to involve our local community in something a bit bigger than just a cycle race. And
that's the whole thing about sport, isn't it? When it goes beyond the action on the roads or the track or the field or whatever, when it pulls in community and spirit and the good-naturedness of all of the people who are part of it, I guess, that's when you know that you've cracked it.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we all remember the Olympic summer and all the rest of 2012 and how good that felt in terms of just getting us all excited about living in our country.
So we'll talk again about the knitting in a second. You're a cycling instructor. Do you teach road cycling techniques then? Is it about racing for you?
Oh, no, not about racing at all. This is all about the standard commuting, which is actually what most of us are going to experience. Not all of us want to race, and I certainly don't want to race at my age. And I work for a company called Outspoken, and they teach life skills and just to create more confident and more able cyclists through training and bike maintenance training. So it just covers a whole series of bases.
It's a rather more general side of cycling, of course, and the cycling that most of us can appreciate and relate to.
Yeah.
So back to the jerseys then. The yellow jersey is the thing. It's the emblem, isn't it, of the Tour de France? And you want people to get knitting, what, really tiny sort of bunting-sized ones?
Well, we're kind of, that's one thing, but we've got to remember also in Cambridge we have got a strong tradition of doing a little bit more than that. The jerseys are certainly something we're going to focus on and get try and get a whole lot of that done. But we've also got things like we do knitted lampposts and that's very Cambridge.
We need to get them hanging from civic monuments and stuff, don't we?
Precisely, yeah. And it would give the view. And remember, we've got the world cameras will be on us on that day, just a chance to see some things that Cambridge does slightly oddly and slightly differently. And this, again, as I say, can involve lots and lots of people with all kinds of different skills, from basic knitting to, arch needle wielder, I'd say that.
So it's a call to arms or a call to knitting needles for people across Cambridgeshire to get crafty and creative.
Indeed.
Are you sitting in? Are you coordinating all of this?
I'm kind of acting as a coordinator. In terms of a place to go, we have Sarah at the sheep shop. So that's the sheep shop in Cambridge. She's offered to be or even run knitting group sessions and be a collection point for items, and that's a very good contact point for us. And we've got obviously lots of wool there and all that kind of stuff. So it's all a good good centre for us.
Okay, well, let's see if it can happen by this summer. There's no reason why it can't at all. That's to make somewhere in the region of 3,000 to 6,000 Tour de France jerseys to be hung as bunting along the route, but also to help, as Rad was hinting at, taking over some of our civic monuments and just turning this into a celebration of British eccentricity as well as cycling prowess as well. You're listening to BBC Radio Cambridgeshire.